Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 8th of October, and starting with the S&P on the daily chart here, and we're looking at, well, this whole leg here, the March leg, and we're looking at 1 and 2 here, and then all the way up to 3 here as wave 3 and back to wave 4 here, and now we're looking for wave 5 up here to make wave 1. Once wave 1 is completed, then we'll look back for wave 2 at that point. Let's go in and have a look at this little space here. Let's just do that on the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, we've got wave 3 here. We've got A and a B and a C wave. We nearly met our target here. It still may be the case that wave 4 could get more complicated than a simple ABC pattern here in terms of, this is probably not the case, but I do have to point it out, okay? So we can have wave B sitting here because all this up here is 5 waves up here that makes wave 1, but it could be wave A here, wave B here, and wave C here to wave B here, and then down for 1 and back for 2 here. So until that high is taken out here, then this is possible, okay? But otherwise, we can look at this as a more bullish case to the upside here, as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then going up for wave 3, which should normally come around the top here for that, and then pushing it back into wave 4 here, and then wave 5 to the upside. So, 5 waves between wave 2 and wave 3. Wave 3 should be the strongest out of the 1 and wave 5. So to clarify this, all we need to do is to see that top taken out here. So that's what we'll look at. This move up here appears to be impulsive, so that's good news. So we're highly likely on the right track with this bullish trend to the upside here. So on the 1-hour chart, just to break it down a little bit, from the wave 4 low here, we've been counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and trading a lot of that, and then looking back for wave 2 here as an A and a B and a C, and then looking this here as 5 waves up, which we'll look at in a moment, then back for wave 2, and then moving up into wave 3 here. Also within wave 3, we'll be looking for 5 waves, and the 5 waves here should also be, let me just see if I've got that there. No, I haven't got that there, so we need to copy that, put that there. So we're looking from wave 2 to wave 3 here, and we're looking for 5 waves. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and also 2 within this within this structure here would also be looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and a classic trading levels pattern across the this level, and then up for wave 5, something of that nature. So the other point that I'd like to make here too is that we should see this scoot along in this little especially this little wave here, this wave here, that should move quite quickly through here, because it will be the third of the third of the third here. Okay, let's just go to the 15-minute chart and drill in a little bit further. We'll also have a look at some Nasdaq stocks and the Nasdaq as well. So just in here, we've got from wave 2 here to wave 1 here. We've got 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for 1 and 2, 5 waves up here for wave 3, and ABC for wave 4, and 5 waves up here. It did drop a bit lower than the 61.8%, and it moved quite swiftly. I mean, wave 2s do that, but obviously it was tweet driven, and now we're looking at this structure to the upside here. Now I've had a bit of a look at this structure coming up through here. I just quite haven't got, I was going to go to the tick chart now, but just before I do, we just be good to just talk about this a little bit. So the trend is definitely up, okay, and yeah, so we're looking for, well, definitely up into above the 3500 area here. And yeah, I'm just not quite sure on how to count this. I just need to spend a bit more time with it. So that's something that I'll do. But just why I'm here, this is 100 ticks. Just might need to bring in a bit more data here just to grab the low. So from this wave 2 low here, I just still need to work through this, as I mentioned, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, but I'm just not quite sure about this because the wave 4 here just overlaps the wave 1 here, so it may not be right. Wave 3 is nice and strong here. I won't go in and count that. It's a bit sort of difficult to see because I need to expand it out even further. But just to get the gist of it, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 1 here, and then ABC for 2 here. And it does appear that we've got a little 5-wave structure in this space here. So I was thinking of this as moving this as 1 and 2 here. That probably could come back a bit further from this point. But I haven't got that in stone just yet, you know. But one of the points here is that we're moving. One of the points here is that where the closest largest number is 34, right? And then we've got group 1 above that, 1, 2, and 3. So if we get support on top of this level here, of group 1 here, the 30 here, then we'll be pushing up to the 50 at that point. So it's just step by step as always. We've got a really nice support here. And this is where you could have also gone long on these tops here as well to add to positions. And yeah, so yeah, we're still pushing up for this. That's the main point. Now, we'll just have a look at the Nasdaq. So just to come back here a little bit, let's just bring this back into 200. Let's just bring this back to, say, the 1 hour chart so we can compare it to the NASI. Because as I mentioned yesterday, it's going to be the S&P 500 that's going to lead us to the upside and not the NASI at this stage. So this is where we are with this. The Nasdaq is kind of completely different, not completely different, but from the low here, we've got nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as wave 1, and then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. So it's kind of like we're one leg, you know, away from this just yet. You know, we're still looking for wave 1 here and wave 2 here. Where on the S&P, if I can just bring this back a little bit, that green wave 1 and 2 here, we've already had that from this point, you know. So there's a bit of catching up to do here with all of this. If we could compare it like this a little bit. So you can see that the NASI here is still going up for wave 1 here, where the S&P 500 has already gone to wave 1 and 2 and is moving up into the next structure. So a bit of a lag there. I've got to get my head around that. We don't often see that. That said, I'm going to have a look at some stocks now. So Alphabet, Google here. So with Google, as you may know, this is 100 ticks here. That's why it's looking the way it is. But down for wave A, B, and then 5 waves all the way down to wave C here. So we tuned into the bottom here for this. And then we started counting to the upside here. So 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. A bit dodgy, but it's there. And then 5 waves for the A wave, the B wave, and 5 waves in here for wave C of 2. So we've got a low here. We haven't gone up. I can't draw here just yet, but we'll be looking for wave 1 coming in here, and wave 2. I'm just assuming, I'm just guessing just here a little bit. I can see parts of it, but main point here is that if you're going to go long here, just keep your stop out of the way down here somewhere, right? So I'll just put that there. But yeah, this is looking good. The reason for this looking good, if it's, don't mind me saying, is that we've got this low in place, but more important is that we have 5 waves up here. So after a correction, we're going to get another 5 waves here. Sorry, after 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend, which is this is the trend, and we get 5 waves in the opposite direction, then because we get 5 here, after a correction, we're going to get another 5 waves here. So we can start looking for wave 3 to the upside here. Okay, I mean, even if this wave 4 got more complicated and all of this down here was just blue wave A, and this was an A and a B and a C wave for blue wave B, and we should also just put that in here as well. That's where that could go to, or wave C, but if it's going to fail, that's where it's going to fail from the box, basically. Okay, so that's that one. Next one is Tesla, slightly different, but they're all slightly different. So with Tesla here, we've got wave 4 down to here, and then we're looking at this as wave 1 here. I'm a bit concerned about this one here, really, because it's difficult to count as 5 waves. I know I can look at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and have the extension in wave 5 rather than having the extension in wave 3. So, but that's a weak spot. So I'm aware of that weak spot. But at the same time, as I've mentioned before, this move down through here is in 3 waves. So it's corrective. So at some point we'll be taking out that high here. This move coming up through here, a little bit hard to read, but we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for wave 3. I'll just consider all of this wave 4, pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then starting to push up here again. So if you wanted to add to this position, getting support on top of 430 with a classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and the ABC pattern, then you've got a setup to go long, and that will take us back up to this double top here, or creating a double top. And double tops are never the end of the bull campaign, as Gann would say. Not that I'm a big Gann fan. There's parts of it that I use, and I've developed the robo system off Gann's work. The robo system method is just an end of day or intraday trading method, whatever. Yeah, but I worked that out when I pulled. What I did is I pulled. You know, he's a bit elusive, old Gann, isn't he? So I got all these trades for Chrysler back in his days. And then I re-established all the trades on the chart until I worked out what he had actually done. And he was using the weekly robo system. That's how he made his money. So you can look at our website for the robo method. It's not a big deal. We've got robo 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so for Apple here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave, the A, the B, and the C wave here for the B wave, and then down for the C wave. It's quite a nice correction, and we've seen this kind of lazily sort of move up, and like I mentioned before, it's possible that we've got wave B coming. Well, not really, because we've got 1, 2, 3 here. Wave B would have to be here for that. But the thing is, I can't put wave B there because I can see that this is corrective here, and this is a little corrective pattern in here. So we're going up from this point. Well, it will be confirmed if we take that top out just here. All right, then that will confirm that this is corrective, and if that takes that little top out, it will take these out, and it will make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that will give us 5 waves for wave 1. So it's really starting to move to making wave 4 here in the right place. That's what's occurring across these markets. Still a little bit way to go on that. The only weak spot I can see in the markets, and there's probably others as well, I'm sure that you can see them, is Facebook here. Where's my thing? There it is. So yeah, this one sort of bothers me a little bit because it's quite clear that we've got 1 and 2 here, and then there's 5 waves, a bit hard to see in here, but you can see how quickly wave 3 has moved through here. So yeah, it does appear that we've got 5 waves here. So in this instance, I mean, it's not like we've got 3 waves up here. So in this instance, we should really have an ABC correction. So from this high here to this low here, we should pull back up into this space. I could move that across. Oh, well, it's okay there. So we should pull to here and then drop down again from that point. So yeah, this is a bit of a one that's not falling into play as such. I mean, I could be wrong with this in some way. Maybe I misunderstood this and I need to go back over it. But yeah, and there's probably others like this as well. But yeah, let's just see how this plays out for this market. I mean, this can be an ABC for the A wave here, and then ABC for the B wave here, and then 5 waves up for the C wave here. So don't mistake it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It could be, but this wave 4 here is overlapping wave 1 here. So it's a weak spot in that space. So look, just the takeaway from this is that Facebook has got 5 waves down here. So it's possible for it to go to a B wave and then have a C wave down here. Not that it has to come way down here. It might just come to this point here where a lot of other stocks that have moved up are looking at wave 1 here or something, and then coming back for wave 2 here, why this one makes a lower move in this case. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, that's just a weak spot. Just have to point that out. And there's probably others as well. So that's that. Alrighty. I think I've waffled on long enough, but the takeaway for all of this here now is that we want to see the 34 as a really nice solid support. Now, there's 2 things that can happen here. Is that if I just go to the 15-minute chart, it will just make things a little bit easier to see, to figure out. So we've got 2 things that can happen here. The market could pull back into 34 and then, you know, give us some sort of A, B, C sort of pattern that comes into here and then moves off from that point, or it's going to move up into this space here. But if it pulls back into here, what we're looking for, the second high here, then you can go long again on that. And yeah, we're just basically looking for the 34 to become the support. You know, it's a bit of a carry on from this blip in, you know, on the radar here. So what we're really looking for on the bullish side is to get support on top of 3,430, because support on top of group 1 here, on top of the number 30 or the number 3 as I call it, try to keep things as simple as possible, but support on top of the 30 here, like a tested support on top here, that means it sever the order flow from being pulled back to the closest largest number, and the 34 in this case. So support here tells me that we're finished with this number. And that's really important for a lot of things. So top of group 1, this is where the number 3 comes in. So yeah, look, tested support on top of group 1. Group 1 is 1, 2, and 3. And it's subgroup 1. We can have micro group 1. Micro group 1 would be where we've got the 30 here. Right, if you want to be sure that we've got support on that, well, then you would go to the 3 here, the 33, 1, 2, 3 here. So then that would be the micro group. So support on that, on the 33, would tested support on top of that would tell you that we're finished with the 30. So they're just fractals. So it's, yeah, anyway, it's just good to know that. And if the penny drops in the old grey cells, then you've got yourself a nice little tool to work with there. But yeah, so two things here. The takeaway is that we want to see the 34 as the tested support. I mean, we've got a bit of a tested support here, but I would expect a more of a support for that. But I have to say we've already been through all of that because of this blip on the radar, so to speak. Yeah, so it may not need to come back at this point. So the next point is this level up here for this. So yeah, look for support on that. And then that will just take us the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC pattern here, probably exaggerating it a bit, can drop back to the 20 here. Sometimes it will spike to the 15, rarely, but yeah, I wouldn't get out of the trade unless the number 2 here became the retested resistance, and then you can go long again at that point. That will take you to the 50 at that stage, and you expect another correction at number 5 here, at the midpoint, I call it. And that's 5 is the second strongest number, so you can definitely expect some sort of correction there. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.